Judges Awards. 5, 5 1/2, 5 1/2, 6, 6, 6, 6. Next diver is Kayla Newman. On deck is Sean. 101A, forward dive straight, difficulty 1.4. Judges Awards. 6, 5 1/2, 6, 6 1/2, 6 1/2, 6, 6 1/2. Next diver is Sean Asuncion from Kaiser High. On deck is Skylar. Sean's doing a 401B, inward dive pike, 1.5. Awards. 6 1/2, 6 1/2, 6, 7 1/2, 6 1/2, 6 1/2, 7. Next diver is Skylar Lickle from Seabury Hall. On deck is Nicole. Skylar's doing a 201A, back dive straight, 1.7. Awards. 5 1/2, 6 1/2, 6, 6, 6, 5 1/2, 6. Next diver is Nicole Nagata from Iolani. On deck is Caitlin. Nicole's doing a 103C, forward 1 1/2 somersaults tuck, 1.6. Awards. 5, 5 1/2, 5 1/2, 5 1/2, 5, 5, 5 1/2. Caitlin Iwahashi from Waikea. On deck is Maya. 301B, reverse dive pipe, 1.7. Awards. 5, 4 1/2, 5 1/2, 4 1/2, 4 1/2, 5, 6. Maya Ricardo from Punahou. On deck, Mahana. Maya's doing a 201A, back dive straight, 1.7. Judges Awards. 5, 5 1/2, 6, 6, 6, 5 1/2, 6. Next diver, Mahana Merrill from Baldwin. On deck is Lauren. Mahana's doing a 301B, reverse dive pike, 1.7. Awards. 6 1/2, 6 1/2, 7, 6 1/2, 6 1/2, 7, 7. Lauren Takanishi from Iolani. On deck is Alicia. Lauren's doing a 201A, back dive straight, 1.7. Awards. 6, 8, 8, 8, 7 1/2, 8, 7 1/2. Alicia Biza from Maui High. On deck is Ashley. Alicia's doing a 102B, forward 1 somersault pike, 1.5. Awards. 6, 6, 7, 7, 6 1/2, 6, 6. Ashley Summers from Kaiser. On deck is Kylie. Ashley's doing a 201A, back dive straight, 1.7. Awards. 4 1/2, 5, 5 1/2, 5, 4, 4, 4 1/2. Kali Takanishi from Iolani. On deck is Brian. Kali's doing a 401B. Inward dive, pike 1.5. Judges awards. 5, 5 1/2, 6, 6, 5 1/2, 5, 6. Brian Suki from Kamehameha Schools. On deck is Caitlin. Brian's doing a 401B, inward dive pike, 1.5. Awards. 6, 5 1/2, 5 1/2, 5 1/2, 5 1/2, 5 1/2, 6. We're going to repeat those scores, please.
But she was 5.
Her score is 6, 5, 5 1/2, 5 1/2, 5 1/2, 5 1/2, 6. Next diver is Caitlin Nakata from Waikea. On deck is Jill. Caitlin's doing a 202A, back dive straight, difficulty 1.7. Back somersault. Thank you very much. Judges awards. 5 1/2, 5, 5, 5, 4 1/2, 5, 4 1/2. Repeat the scores, please. First score is 5 1/2, 5, 5, 5, 4 1/2, 5, 4 1/2. Next diver is Jill Chafee from Kaiser. On deck is Mina. Jill's doing a 103B forward, 1 1/2 somersaults, pike 1.7. Judges awards. 6 1/2, 6 1/2, 6 1/2, 6, 6 1/2, 6 1/2, 5 1/2. Next diver is Mina Cannon from Punahou. On deck is Marissa. Mina's doing a 5-1-3-1D forward, 1 1/2 somersaults, 1/2 twist, free position 2.0. Awards. 4, 4, 5, 4 1/2, 3, 4, 3. Marissa Iwahashi from Waikea. On deck is Natalie. Marissa's doing a 202A, back 1 somersault, straight 1.7. Awards. 5 1/2, 5, 5 1/2, 5 1/2, 5 1/2, 5, 6. Next diver is Natalie Ure from Iolani. On deck is Emma. Natalie's doing a 5-1-2-2D. Forward 1 somersault, 1 twist, free position 1.9. Awards. 5 1/2, 4 1/2, 5, 5, 5 1/2, 5, 5. Next divers, Emma Ingpak from Punahou. On deck is Kaylee. Emma's performing a 301B reverse dive, pike 1.7. Judges Awards. 6 1/2, 6, 6 1/2, 6 1/2, 7, 7, 6. Kaylee Hanley from Hilo. A 102B forward 1 somersault pike, difficulty 1.5. Awards. 3 1/2, 2, 2 1/2, 2, 3, 3, 2. Beginning the second round of the preliminaries. Elena, a 301B reverse dive pike 1.7. Awards. 6 1/2, 6, 7, 6, 6 1/2, 7, 7. Kayla, a 103B forward 1 1/2 somersaults pike, difficulty 1.7. Awards. 6, 5, 5 1/2, 6, 6, 5, 5 1/2. Shan, a 402C, inward 1 somersault tuck 1.6. Awards. 6, 6 1/2, 7, 7, 6 1/2, 6, 6 1/2. Skylar, a 202A, back 1 somersault straight 1.7. Awards. 7, 6, 7, 6 1/2, 6 1/2, 7, 6 1/2. Nicole, a 104C, forward double somersault, tuck 2.2. Awards. 6, 6 1/2, 5 1/2, 5 1/2, 5 1/2, 5 1/2, 5. Caitlin, a 103B, forward 1 1/2 somersaults, pike 1.7. Awards. 6, 5, 5, 5, 5, 4 1/2, 5 1/2. Maya, a 5211A, back dive, 1/2 twist, straight position, 1.8. Awards. 6, 6, 5 1/2, 6, 6, 6 1/2, 6. Mahana, 302C, reverse 1 somersault, tuck 1.6. Awards. 7 1/2, 6 1/2, 6, 6 1/2, 6 1/2, 6 1/2, 7. Lauren, a 202A, back somersault straight, 1.7. Awards. 5 1/2, 6 1/2, 6 1/2, 5 1/2, 5 1/2, 5, 6. Alicia, a 103B, forward 1 1/2 somersaults, pike 1.7. Awards. 4, 3, 4 1/2, 3 1/2, 3 1/2, 3, 4. Ashley, a 202A, back 1 somersault, straight 1.7. Awards. 5, 5, 5 1/2, 5 1/2, 6, 5, 6. Kylie, 201A, back dive, straight 1.7. Awards. 5, 5 1/2, 5, 5, 5, 5 1/2, 5. Brianna, 302C, reverse 1 somersault, tuck 1.6. Awards. 5, 4 1/2, 5, 5, 5, 4 1/2, 5. Caitlin, a 5221D, back 1 somersault, 1/2 twist, free position 1.7. Awards. 4 1/2, 5, 5, 5, 4 1/2, 5, 5. Jill, a 104C, forward double somersault, tuck 2.2. Awards. 6, 6 1/2, 7, 6, 6 1/2, 5 1/2, 6. Mina, a 104C, forward double somersault tuck 2.2.
So it's a great dive straight up and down. You've got to stay relaxed with your actions.
Awards. 5, 4 1/2, 6 1/2, 5, 5, 5 1/2, 5. Marissa, a 5-2-2-3D, back 1 somersault, 1 1/2 twist, free position, 2.3 difficulty. Awards. 4, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1 1/2, 3. Natalie, a 5-2-2-3D, back 1 somersault, 1 1/2 twist, free, 2.3. Awards. 4 1/2, 5, 4, 4 1/2, 4 1/2, 4, 4 1/2. Emma, a 201B, back dive, pike 1.6. Awards. 5 1/2, 7, 6 1/2, 6, 7, 7 1/2, 6 1/2. Kaylee, a 401B, inward dive, pike 1.5. Awards. 5, 5, 5 1/2, 5, 5 1/2, 5, 6. Beginning the 3rd round of the prelims. Elena, a 302C, reverse somersault, tuck, 1.6. Awards. 6 1/2, bingo.
Okay, started and played over, but Paulo
Good job, judges.
stretch.
Kayla, a 103B, forward 1 1/2 somersaults, pike. Sorry, 3rd dive is a 5-1-2-2D, forward 1 somersault, 1 full twist, free position, 1.9. Awards. 6, 5 1/2, 5, 5, 4 1/2, 5, 5. Shan, a 201A, back dive, straight 1.7. Awards. 5 1/2, 4, 5 1/2, 4 1/2, 5, 5, 6. Skylar's 3rd dive, 5-2-3-1D, back 1 1/2 somersaults, 1/2 twist, free position, 2.1. Awards. 5 1/2, 5, 5, 4 1/2, 3 1/2, 4, 4 1/2. Nicole, a 402C, inward 1 somersault, tuck 1.6. Awards. 6, 6 1/2, 5, 7, 6 1/2, 6,